Hey, this is Dr. Eric with the Garage Games, getting ready for the World Wide WOD. It's been pretty exciting here in the last few days, just seeing all the people sign up, and I know a lot of you guys have had, you've been pushing for registrations, and then all of a sudden you just got a bunch. So that's cool. So then, what do you do with all this? You get all these people that come in. So there are quite a few boxes that have less than 20 people signed up. So for you, it's pretty easy. My recommendation is that you will move the WODs along in the order that we have prescribed them, and I'd like everyone to try to do that. If you're an event host with a large number of people and a limited number of equipment, but you've got resources in the form of people to assist, then it might make more sense for you to jockey things around and have one group doing one WOD at the same time as another group, and I understand that. So that's okay. But if we can, we'll try to go in the order of the deadlift, burpee, the wall ball snatch, and then the chipper, and do those in that order, and that'd be great. So a couple things just to try to keep things running smoothly. First, if you prepare ahead of time, I've emailed everybody the scorecards, the WOD cards. So I would have those printed out ahead of time, and you might want to go ahead and just have the athlete's name set on the card, and then just order them in your heats. So create heats that will be divisions, and I would work your way straight through divisions, and for the most part it works pretty smooth and easy if you work your way down from RX to beginner or up from beginner to RX. Either one of those directions should work pretty good. So I would do that, so that way your weight changes are going to be pretty simple. Next, prepare your weights the night before. Friday night, do some setup, kind of have your station set, know where you're going to be, know where you want the person judging the athlete to be, and then prepare them in a briefing with that information in the morning, so that they just know, hey, when you check in, this is what you're doing. You're going to come through, you're going to check in, you're going to be called out for your heat, so pay attention. We're not going to call you 3, 4, 5 times. We're going to call you twice. Make sure you're listening, so when you get your heat, you come into position, find a bar. We'll be asking athletes to help change out weights, and that makes perfect sense. In this competition, we don't run this like it's just the top-notch, best competition. We run this more like, hey, this is a fun community event, but it's an opportunity to get yourself out there in the world, just like the Open. If you're doing the Open, you don't have a whole bunch of people running the WODs for you as far as getting the weights changed out, etc. On the judging side, I would have all of the athletes. I'm going to re-email all of them. Maybe I'll wait till tomorrow because we're getting so many signed up still, to just let them know that they're going to be judges. They're going to be called to judge in most of these competitions, so they have to be aware of the movement standards. So we're going to make sure that they're ready. But I would go ahead and when you brief them, just kind of brief them on those standards again, just quickly. Hey, here's the WODs, here are the standards, and then move through quickly. One of the things that makes a competition go well is that make sure there's somebody in your midst who has a bend towards urgency, and then that person is going to be right there, either on the microphone or loudspeaker, megaphone, or at least next to the person with the loud voice to say, hey, we need to keep moving this along. It shouldn't take but a couple minutes in between heats for a lot of these different events, because there's not a lot to be set up or changed. So just really try to drive that through fast. Get a sense of how you want your heats to run as far as how much time in between heats, so that you know what the total timeline is. I think it makes sense, if you can, to have athletes have about an hour rest in between workouts. I think that's plenty, maybe an hour and a half. But that really should be plenty. And if you can run at that rate, you'll get done. It'll happen quick. You won't be there all day long. Athletes will appreciate that. Medals were sent yesterday, and they FedEx them with arrival times designed to be Friday. So everything should head out so that you have them on Friday. That's how we set it up. trying to wait to the last minute to send out as many medals as we could, knowing that you'd have more registrations towards the end. We didn't want to send out 3 male, 3 female for every single division to a box that had 8 people signed up total. It just wouldn't make much sense to do that, just to load you up with medals. So if you ended up getting more people in, that would increase the medal count. You won't have them for the podium at the event, and I'm going to let the athletes know that via email if they read the email, and that I would be happy to send medals off to the box to be distributed that way. So we'll see. If a lot of people won't really care about a 3rd place medal in beginner, teen, or who knows what. But if anyone cares about a medal, I want to make sure they get one. So all right, back to the event, running this thing smoothly. I would have somebody, have a right-hand man, have somebody there with you who can handle any questions or disputes or complaints. I would remind people that, hey, this is a friendly competition. Be aware of who's in your competition. If you have somebody who plans on winning the overall for the divisions, the RX divisions especially, that's where it matters really. They got prizes that will come to them. Anyone who wins that or thinks they're going to win that, you kind of want to know who they are ahead of time and just try to get the right person judging them. So it's good to know your competitors. If anyone, I would just even ask them in the briefing, hey, if there's anyone here who sees themselves as potentially winning this whole thing worldwide, come on over here and talk to me. They would typically have to be someone who made regionals at least, or who really looks like they will make regionals without a doubt coming up. We've got good regional competitors around the country, so I expect that we'll see one of those people win their respective events. So let me think. There was something else I wanted to get to before I moved on. Score entry. So I would also have your left-hand man on the score entry, so that once a heat is done, you've got yourself or somebody collecting those cards and moving those cards right over to the score table, and then they're reshuffling them into the order for the next heat. So that way the cards are staying really uniform. Score table, somebody sitting at a computer somewhere logged in as you, and they're entering scores. They're all done by name, so you don't need athlete numbers. Simply enter the name or pull down the name on the score tab, enter the score. All the scoring should be done as an AMRAP for cut-off athletes. So if it's a time, great, it's a time. If they come to the cap, the time is the full time, excuse me, that was the cutoff time, as well then as their total number of reps. So the scorecard has a way to keep track of reps. It's not 3 minutes and 12 seconds and all the reps. If they did it in 3 minutes and 12 seconds, and that's any WOD, then they did it before the cutoff time, that's their score. What about the the snatch wall ball workout cut off at 10 minutes? Yeah, that's going to push people kind of to their limit to get through it before cutoff. I was able to do it at the RX, and I'm a masters competitor, and it was really because it was the power snatches with 75 pounds. Sure, it's 90 reps of that, 90 wall balls, but it was about basically 3 minutes per round is the pace that I was able to keep. And it was really just because the snatches, the 30 snatches, aren't bad at 75 pounds. So you've done Randy before, you know how you feel with that. So and when I do Randy, I hold on to that. I hold on to that bar, I think 45 reps straight or so before dropping. I did this one here, and I did 10 reps, and I took a break, and I did 10 reps, took a break, did 10 reps, and then grabbed the wall ball. Pretty much did 30 reps straight for the first 2 rounds, and then slowed down after that. My point is, I'm not a quality competitor, and I was able to get it done in 9 minutes. So I think that you'll see that we'll have a decent number of people get that workout done in the RX category. If not, so be it. Everyone's in the same boat. It doesn't really matter. So we just have a score. that way we know who's the fittest. All right, cool. So we got scorecards, we got that done. The chipper WOD is a pretty significant amount of stuff, and so on the scorecard, we've got everything listed out. I would just tell your the judges, the athletes who are judging, or your judges if you've got actual volunteer judges, I would tell them to write in for that division. So double check, hey, what division are you in? Double check another sheet, okay, this is the division that you're in, so therefore this is the standard. And just write down what needs to be done. They can make little notes there, so that way they know and they can guide that athlete. It's always wise to guide an athlete. Be loud, be around, let them hear, let them see, point to where they're going next. So we don't expect to have great judges, but we want these people to at least have the ability to help guide an athlete the way they'd want to be guided while they're judging. We want good reps, of course, too. So one of you should always be a head judge, yourself, right-hand man, whatever, somebody ready to jump and call out no reps right away. So you might need to find someone for that role too, but that will help. Once you have all that, you're going to be good. It's going to be a nice event. It's going to be fun. It'll be very community rich. I would download your list of athletes, email all of them, tell them what your expectations are, let them know what time you want them to be there, how you expect this to roll, any special requests, you want to get those up front. Well, I need to be gone by 3 o'clock because of this. Okay, maybe you can accommodate that person. So just whatever it is, but I would email them. So you got the video in that previous email I sent. Just go ahead and look back at that. That video should show you exactly what you need so you know how to download the list of athletes from your box and get in touch with them. All right, cool. Oh, and if you haven't sent me your paid to name and definitive address and tax ID number, please do that. I'd like to get the payments turned around to you as soon as the event is over. So I'd like to close it up on Sunday, get it all out to the person on our team who does that, so she has just a list and knows where it all has to go, and then she's going to sit down in front of a computer and just knock it all out, doing our online bill pay method so that everyone will get paid next week. That's the hope, but I need to have that information from you. So, all right, cool. Thanks, guys.